It's the Daily Dog.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Doug. I am happy that you are here. Today is Monday, January 18th, 2021. It is a Chiefs Monday. Go Chiefs. Got a win yesterday. All right, 2 wins away from another Super Bowl. Today is also National Black Lives Matter Day. Happy Black Lives Matter Day. Otherwise known as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A lot of folks have been sharing quotes and clips from speeches by Dr. King, and I saw one today that really struck me, and I wanted to read it to you. It goes as follows, quote, "We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy." Unquote. Sadly, those words are as needed to be heeded now as they were in the 60s. This was one of the main arguments between Democrats during our primary season in 2020. Do we go with someone like Joe Biden, who represents high ethics, but a return to the status quo, not a progressive, someone who's just going to be a professional in the White House and a return to the status quo of like the mid-2010s? Or do we take a more progressive, bold approach and really push forward with bolder ideas to change the status quo that brought about a demagogue like Trump? And ultimately, Joe Biden won, and that's fine. Joe will do an excellent job as president. He is an ethical man and a dedicated public servant. And I'm so happy that within 48 hours of me, talking to you now, that we're going to be able to call our president, President Biden. And what a glorious sound that will be. I've seen some responses to some of Dr. King's quotes, and this one struck me. It struck me because someone was responding on Twitter to this exact quote. And they simply said, "Did Martin Luther King Jr. not also say that riot is the language of the unheard? Does this apply to the events of January 6th? And my answer would be no, but I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, well, conservatives aren't being heard, and conservatives are being shunned, and we need to, if we're going to, as he says, make real the promises of democracy, we need to show up and engage in civil disobedience and, storm the Capitol, right? The problem is that conservatives are far from unheard in this society. There is a difference, right? There is a difference between not being heard and being heard but being repudiated for what you say. Big difference, y'all, right? Conservatives are definitely heard. It's just that the majority of the world and America thinks that your ideas are increasingly outside of reality, dangerous, often disingenuous, right? Selfish, racist, and as we've seen in the past, couple months, and especially on January 6th, outside of democratic norms. Conservatives, you are not unheard. You are free to practice your religion as you see fit. You are free to pray. You are free to hold rallies. You are free to hold meetings. You are free to run for office. You are free to write op-eds to your local paper. We have Christmas as a national holiday. We have Easter and Good Friday as national holidays. Conservatives have representation in all levels of government, right? Conservative thought is definitely heard in this country. It's not that conservatives aren't heard. It's just that the more we hear you, the more people are just actively repudiating your thinking. Freedom of speech is not freedom from repercussions. That's why people in customer service, when you go and like berate them, don't tell you to go fuck off, right? Freedom of speech is not freedom from repercussion. And I would say this, losing an election the way that Donald Trump did does not equal oppression. Just means that more people want the other guy. Words to think about. Thanks for being with us. This has been today's Daily Doug.